Teenage Mutant Kosher Turtles. Teenage Mutant Kosher Turtles. Teenage Mutant Kosher Turtles. Heroes in a yarmulke. Turtle power. When the evil Palestinians attack, these Zionists won't cut them no slack. We building tunnels in New York. We coming out of your sewer with a fork. We finna eat your babies up for sport. Man, I'm cold. I need to be a rapper. It's serious business going on in the world, y'all, and I feel like we just cannot let this topic be something we discuss and then move on past. You see what I'm saying? I'm not sweeping this one under the rug, y'all. You might see me talk about this until the end of the month, until I get a clear cut explanation on what the fuck was going on in that time. What was that stain on that mattress? And why did that Jewish man come out that sewer like that? Why did he come out that sewer like a rat running and shit? None of this makes sense. I know a lot of people been speculating, child sex rings, you know, different things like that. I'm telling you, them motherfuckers live underneath the ground, man. And we need to start believing people. Listen, another reason why I can't let this go under the rug, and I'm gonna drop the link in a second for anybody who want to come up and touch on this. Another reason why we cannot let this go under the rug is because conspiracy theorists and people who have alternative ways of thinking always get looked at as crazy first, then investigated second. Um, let's take it off the Jewish for 30 seconds. Remember that black lady that was standing next door to Jeffrey Dahmer who kept telling the police, that nigga over there killing people. They called that lady crazy. And that nigga ain't over. So it begs to believe who in on it if you just get dismissed and written off as crazy so easily. Because she said, look, this nigga apartment stank. It's little kids over there that I know they not old enough to be over there with them. People coming up disappearing. It took a lot of bodies before they believed that lady. And I don't think they even believed the lady. It took for somebody to actually discover the crime before the lady was proven to be right the whole time. Okay, let's take it to these tunnels. It was a man on Twitter, I believe. He's been posting. He posted on Twitter back in October, I believe. Y'all can look up and verify my research. Might not be spot on with the date, but I do know it was well before the tunnels were discovered. He lives in New York. He's been posting on Twitter, hey, I live in New York and it's Jews underneath the floor. We don't have a basement and I live at the ground level. So what he was saying is, I live at the ground level, we don't have a basement, and I hear Jews underneath me digging and shit, and this shit ain't like something going on. They wrote him off as crazy. About a month and a half later, he posted again. Yo, niggas is talking Yiddish under my flow, man. I hear this shit. I'm not crazy. Somebody, like, it's Jews living underneath the fucking floor. They called him crazy. Fast forward to now, he replied to his own post on Twitter. See, told y'all, I wasn't crazy. Fact of the matter is this. Speaking with people from New York and hearing their testimonies, I believe it was a brother over there, old brother Sanchez, who said a lot of people come up suspiciously missing in these areas during certain times. Now, my thing is this. If niggas is missing in New York and Jews got a tunnel because they want to still go to church, but don't want during COVID, whatever they said, they built the tunnel. Like, okay. The point is this: once COVID is over with, or whatever, you know what I'm saying, restrictions that came with COVID, and you're allowed to go back into your synagogue and worship, what's the purpose of the tunnel then? You see what I'm saying? What's the purpose of a mattress in a tunnel? What's the purpose of baby shit in a tunnel, strollers, all that shit? What's the purpose? Why are y'all fighting the fucking police? And why are the police not slapping fucking yarmulkes and braids off niggas for putting their hands on? You're seeing the real power at work, man. And again, like I said before, if that would have been a bunch of Captain Tazariak Hebrew Israelite niggas in one of them 125th buildings with a fucking tunnel fighting the fucking police talking about y'all can't go in our tunnel, it would have been a different news story today. It would have been extremist, semi-terrorist cult group known as the Hebrew Israelites build tunnels through New York in an effort to kidnap babies for their cult membership and worship. Some shit they would have came up with. I'm trying to figure out how in the fuck y'all synced all that baby shit in them tunnels and then just said, yeah, we need to concrete this shit up. Concrete what up, nigga? Fill it with cement. I know a cover up when I hear one. So y'all found the tunnel. Y'all found all type of shit down there. Now y'all finna destroy all the evidence. Cool. Now y'all finna destroy all the evidence. This is where I don't want to hear niggas in certain places talk about community work. This is where covert community work must come into operation. You can't be scared because I need to know if y'all not scared of the police, then y'all scared of these people. But if the people that y'all scared of have power to control police and all these forces that y'all say y'all not scared of, then why are y'all so scared of these people? Something ain't making sense. For real. So I'm about to drop this link, y'all. I done said my little 20 minutes worth of shit. We finna get this shit cracking. Shout out to everybody that's out there, y'all. Yeah, we finna get this shit live, man, because I really want to know what y'all feel about it. So, like I said before, New York, New York, y'all got some explaining to do. Exhibit number 1. What the fuck is this? They speeding through that shit. You see how fast they wanted to go past all that baby shit? Now, these niggas knocked out a while. Tell me something. It says this tunnel was apparently designed to reach an abandoned women's mikvah or ritual bath around the corner and expand the synagogue. Y'all built the tunnel to expand the synagogue to an abandoned building. You see how the news try to tell you shit, and if you just not a cognitive, common sense person, you'll just read that shit and be like, oh yeah, that's what they was doing. Nigga, y'all expanding the building to an abandoned building. Through a tunnel, you gotta crawl on your hands and knees and shit to get through. Claiming this was some shit that you needed to do to worship during COVID. Ain't no nigga climbing through this. It ain't that much worshiping to do. You lying. What the fuck is y'all doing crawling through the fucking ground through rocks and shit to an abandoned building? Look at that shit. Cuz don't even want to go down there. He's scared. He the police. Now look at these niggas. They so bold with it. They just fucking shit up, fighting the police. Hold on real quick. We back, y'all. Like I said, these niggas is up in here fighting the fucking police, man. Zay, what's good with it, nigga?
What up, what up, what up? You can hear me?
Oh, yeah, I hear you loud and clear.
Yeah.
Salute, salute, salute. We up in this motherfucker.
So I
did
did some research on the this Jewish building. So back in the early 90s, I forgot the date to be exact, but y'all can go look it up on your own time. There was supposed to be an expansion. The guy had died. So over the years or whatever, you know, since you got to get so many approvals and grants and this, that, and the third in order to expand outside of the guy who was originally supposed to expand it, who was a Jewish guy too, the state was pushing it back. So the people of the community took it upon themselves to just start the expansion on their own. So what we seen in the videos, which wasn't really explained perfectly for us, is the state police and the state was actually pouring cement into the tunnels to fill the tunnels up, to close the tunnels off so that people can't continue to build inside of the tunnels. And remember, it was put on hold during the COVID time. So that's what we seeing. And it's not the whole community agree upon it, because most of all the people in that community basically said, from what I researched, is they're okay with closing down the tunnels and just keeping it separate until whenever time comes and prevails. But there was a smaller, younger, youthful group within inside the group that was like, "Oh hell no, we gonna continue to do what we were supposed to do, and it's supposed to have been done since the '90s." So, yeah, the New York City people, the city council, and all them already knew about it. They just didn't know that these people were going to try to expand it on their own without the, you know, without the council and the city council and all the
So
people knowing
knew
about
they
it.
had the tunnel already.
Mm-hmm. Since the early 90s. Like the early 1990s something. That's
So
when the
they
guy
been
died.
had this tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
Now this
And if
shit
you
getting crazy.
and if you watch the video, the police guy, I gotta find the clip, but the police basically is saying this ain't the way to do it. But the guy, the Jewish guy, was saying we're gonna expand the tunnel regardless or not. Da da da. But that was this on the same day that the city council was pouring the cement inside of the tunnels to close it off, to seal the tunnels. So they was like, oh fuck that, we still gonna build this shit. So that's what you really hear is all the argument, and that's why they really sweeping it under the rug, because it's now, I'm not saying there wasn't no malicious or weird stuff going on, because ain't nobody ever going to say that part. But everybody knew that these tunnels was there. In other words, it
That's
wasn't
the part
nothing
that
that
I
really,
said is getting
yeah.
crazy because
Mm-hmm.
it's been known. So
Yep.
now that shit get even crazier because if you telling me they've been known about these tunnels,
Yep.
that mean these motherfuckers is not, because now that I'm looking at the shit, that shit ain't no shit that a nigga dug out in no couple of years. That shit had to already been there. They already, that's too intricate.
Mm-hmm.
That's too fucking intricate. So for them to already be moving back and forth into that shit is like, that's weird. That's
Yep.
weird. That's weird. And then if y'all say y'all been doing this since the 90s, I'm just going off of firsthand looking at it. Y'all been doing this since the 90s, expanding on this supposedly since the predecessors was supposed to do this. That shit look like y'all ain't did. It look like y'all ain't did nothing down there but been throwing some shit out. What the fuck have y'all been doing down there? What part of the tunnel was they showing us? The part that's newly constructed? I want to see the shit that's like the good part of the tunnel. Hold on, what you put in the private chat? Let me look at this shit right here.
It's one of them Jewish. It's a
Salute,
Jewish
y'all.
lady breaking it down.
Oh,
Some Jewish
you
lady.
know that. You know she finna break it down. Let's get it, Jewish. Like, show us the way.
You.
Salute to everybody in the chat. Let's hear what
Hi, my
Sister
name's
Mary.
Miriam. I'm an Orthodox
Miriam. I
Jew, and I
already know
share what
Sister
my life is
Miriam.
like. 770, also known as Chabad headquarters, is the main synagogue that the Lubavitcher Rebbe used to pray at, and he had plans on expanding and renovating the building. However, all of those plans got put on hold when he passed away in 1994. After his passing, the management of 770 has been in question, and it's something that has gone to courts and been in litigation for a number of years. As a result, any plans of expansion and renovation has been put on hold until a group of yeshiva students decided to take it upon themselves to expand the building without permission. When the head rabbis found out about this, they called for cement trucks to come and fix the damage. And then these men stood in protest. The Lubavitch movement as a whole is one that is known for its outreach, love, and unity, and it is not represented by this small group of men. Let's talk about the tunnels and what I know about them as a member of the community. Hi, my name's Miriam. I'm an Orthodox Jew, and I share
Miriam.
what my life is like.
That's good information, Miriam. He still don't explain what that small group of men would see. That's a convenient explanation. And I like that. But see, it's almost like when a motherfucker come out and the police be like, you can't condemn the whole police station because of this small group of 10 police officers decided to form an inside gang and extort people and murder and blah, blah. It's like, you're right, I can't condemn everybody, but that shit did come up. That's how what the, like, if you telling me that 30 niggas, the young niggas or whatever inside your shit decided to take it upon themselves to did this, turn around and do whatever the fuck they was doing or whatever, who I be bam, and they've been doing it and niggas then finally caught on to what they was doing. So it just seemed like, yeah, it might have only been them, but what the fuck was they doing?
Yep, I think they was carrying out an actual mission. That's the part they're not mentioning. Yeah, everybody knew about the
right. What was they doing? Like, it's a war going on in Palestine. That shit. What do that shit really connect to? Who is they? Like, it ain't necessarily got to be no trafficking. It could be. It could be them niggas was, like you said, was on a mission to go to get somebody significant. You see what I'm saying? Because all them ethnicities do stay in New York. You see what I'm saying? Important people.
Yep. So, and it's clearly a part of the rebellious side of town. Because like you said, every group got like a normal side of the group, and then it's the rebellious side of the group. So it, of course, it's not going to ever, nobody's ever, like I said, nobody's going to tell us the deep, dark secrets of what they're actually doing down there type shit. But it goes to show that everybody knew about it. That's basically what she just cleared up. Not only did us as the Jewish community know about it, but the city council and the city knew about it because they were down there sealing it up as well. Like, so everybody was partaking in these tunnels. So that's why you're not going to see it being blamed on one person. They hear it swipe that shit up off of the news because everybody was partaking in that tunnel.
Yep. They was using that shit for something. And then they say that shit was a 50-foot long tunnel connected to an abandoned building, but then how many motherfucking tunnels do that building connect to? Like, they were saying some shit like that shit connected damn near every synagogue in that area. Then it connects to the major synagogue. Like, there's some other shit going on. And New York is too underground, like Chicago. It's too underground to where you not. It just don't make sense that this tunnel was being dug out so they could just go to this abandoned building and do what? Nice. You explaining everything, but what the fuck was they doing?
Okay. I said no.
Niggas in motherfucking business suits and top hats was finishing construction, dressed like that to do what?
It's a mess. It's a mess.
Niggas hearing Yiddish under the floor and shit. Man said he heard niggas talking in Yiddish underneath the floor, and y'all talking about some motherfucking. Yeah, they was just expanding the. Oh man, and that's
Yep.
all I want to know. And they, like you said, they just cemented it out because, and it's so convenient that the rabbi was the one who called it because the rabbi probably went down there and found out what the fuck they was doing. Like, oh hell no, cement this shit off, man. What the fuck? They find this shit down there, they go arrest everybody. You know, I know that play. You gonna protect your own. You ain't gonna send your own up the river. But at the same time, what the fuck was they down there doing?
Okay.
And what the man was expanding it for in the 90s. What was he gonna expand it under like y'all
Apparently
explaining everything?
they own those locations, but it was I forgot what the another video I watched. Another video I watched. They own the locations, both locations, the abandoned one and the one that they was currently in. But
Right.
when he had died, like she was saying, that's the part the other guy forgot about was the management takeover went to a whole different managing group to where they were not utilizing the building at all, where other people were still trying to utilize it. Now, we still in question on what was the utilization for because this is in the same week where if you go check the New York news, they were sending high school students home early in order to house immigrants. Now,
Yeah.
this is in the same week. So that it's all kind of red flagish because nobody's still explaining what was the purpose. Yeah, we all get that the church and the synagogues and what the purpose that the surface level purpose is, but what's the underground level? That's what we trying to find out, and that's where they were at underground.
Yeah.
All
Underground
that
like
surface level stuff, we know what y'all doing on the surface. We trying to figure out what y'all doing underground. Same thing, Christian, Catholic, and no matter what group,
right.
y'all all doing stuff underground.
That's a fact. Because all them Catholic churches got tunnels and deep ass chambers underneath them bitches too that connect through the city. Believe that. And they shit probably more intricate than these motherfucking Jewish tunnels.
Now, don't want to bring it too far into slavery, but is, is this the underground railroads that people keep talking about? Because it's not just New York. I mean, this is everywhere. This is not just in New York. Everybody knows it's underground systems.
Mm-hmm.
But the only people that's privy or have privilege to these systems are either religion or government.
True.
That's it.
And it is the underground. Listen, when the motherfuckers talk about like underground tunnels and all that shit, who is that goof ass nigga? Root word. He made a good point when he said all these tunnels and shit is like dammed up river systems, and that's the underground railroad, how we know how to travel all the rivers above ground and below ground. And once they start damming shit up and drying out lakes and all of that, then you get all these motherfucking tunnels and shit that open up.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? So then when motherfuckers start so-called doing the mining and all of that shit, it literally is in a lot of cases, railroad track laid down in this shit. You know what I mean? So it literally is underground railroad throughout all of America. And I know for a fact that plenty of people have said you can travel same way you can travel from coast to coast, whether it's the south to the north or the east to the west, vice versa. Above ground, you could do it below ground too.
Yep. Because how else? But that's why I say when we all look at them old ass maps and shit like that, and a lot of people be confused on what they looking at. That's why you're looking at the undercarry. It's sort of like,
right?
Yeah, it's like how the the city got a blueprint or whatever that is of your house, and they know exactly how the layout of your house is just in case of a raid and this, that, and the third. So they need to be updated on everything that you do with the house so they can put it on your file just in case of a raid or something. They know you're not hiding in no secret rooms and this, that, and the third. So that's basically what we were looking at when it came to them old ass maps and shit like that. The connection of each and every place. They didn't really necessarily have to name a place because the surface level wasn't built yet. We were getting the names of the underground cities and states, not the above ground ones. And that's why they talk about the earth in so many damn dimensions, because at this point you can only build upwards. I mean, look at Dubai. Ain't they building up? All these places are building up. They're creating islands. They're creating this. They're creating that. The same shit that we seen in these tunnels is hiding the same secrets. Them same foreigners are going to be the same faces of the hands of the earth to create the next level. That's it. They utilizing them people. I bet you, they're utilizing all these foreigners that's just randomly disappearing as slaves to the underground. So it's basically people that's fixing up the underground world. That like those old subway systems, them old underground cities, the old
Because
this,
when
the
you
old
really
that.
think about it, ain't that what El Chapo and all them niggas was doing? Like the refurbishing tunnel systems and shit like that, like finding tunnels and tunneling from Mexico to all that. So it's like that is like a, I don't want to say like no stereotype shit, but that's like a foreigner trait. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or not a foreigner trait, but that's like a native trait. Like that's why they couldn't win the Vietnam War, because them niggas tunneled the fuck out of Vietnam, supposedly. But it was either they did that or it was already like that, and they didn't know that. So when they got over there and niggas start popping out of tunnels, it was like, hold on,
Okay.
what the fuck is going right? So that type shit.
It's a use for everybody, and
Right.
they show you already with the old American history. Like you got the niggas of the land. That was the slaves that were tilling the land and farming and cropping and all this and the third. You had the Chinese people that was digging gold and this, that, and the third, and the gold mines and all that shit. So it shows you. So it shows you the purpose of each and every race of person that they're utilizing. So when they come up missing, what's the surprise? What's the surprise? They being utilized for some shit. That why you think like this the fucking government isn't panicking about any of this stuff?
At all.
Because how we know that's not somebody from overseas that's a part of this group that's underground and this, you get what wouldn't they be panicking? Nope. They not panicking because they know they got a part of it.
Yep.
They already know what's going on down there. So that go to show you it's just like we live in a system to where we are always going to be on the unknown. Everything to us is going to be the shocking point, the surprise, and like the lady said in the video, shit, that's the bad side of the group. This is the good side. Like you said, every group gonna say that because not everybody is within the circle of the circle of the circle. There's always another circle within your circle. So just because you're not privy to the information, don't mean it's not going on or taking place. You only privy to certain information because you're not at that level yet, and that's just what it is. Like all them young, because like I said, I watched that Daughters of a Cult thing. Sort of the same thing. Where did all them people run to? Mexico. That like those people was helping them with tunnel systems and moving from house to house and that. So I'm pretty sure they can do that shit underground with no problem.
That's a fact.
These Jewish
That's
people,
a fact.
they're not gonna.
Now look,
They're not gonna
remember,
let up.
I don't remember. This is probably like 2021, 22. It wasn't big in the news, but it did happen. Where they said it was like 20,000 Chinese soldiers underground on the border of Canada, right? And America went and blew them motherfuckers up, killed like 20,000 motherfuckers because they was trying to cross the border. You know what I'm saying? A bunch of Chinese soldiers, right? So and it didn't make the news big, but the point is, how the fuck y'all get from China? How did y'all make it all the way from there? And they found out y'all was underground. You see what I'm saying? Like, hold on, it's 20,000 motherfuckers in an underground base, basically. Or some shit like that. And they had to blow them motherfuckers up underground. So
it's some CCTV cameras. Them they've been had all that shit up and running.
That shit that ground, the shit that look into the ground and shit, basically. The deep radar type of shit, you know, and it's like it was I'd say probably like around the time of 9/11 when it first happened, and they got to talking about how they was trying to catch Bin Laden and all that shit. A lot of the shit they was making for him was tunnels.
Mm-hmm.
And they were saying the bombs that they had to make was like these bombs that like drill into the ground basically and go so deep before they blow up.
Yep. And you know what, Bobby?
Uh-huh.
That old saying too. You can dig from your front yard to China.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing.
Now they always used to try to make that shit like oh, you dig all the way through it. Nah. You just dig down deep enough and then you start going sideways. You go in, you fuck around,
Yep.
end up either under the ocean, in the ocean, somewhere else.
That's all. It's all part of the. It's just storytelling, but just not giving you the story 100%. It's like a folklore type thing.
Yeah. And then when they say digging, I'll be thinking like that shit is like finding trails that's like you gotta re mat down or some shit like that. Like if you ever been hiking, you might
Yep.
see a trail that's like if you look off, it look like it ain't a trail, but it's like that motherfucker is a trail. It's just motherfuckers ain't been that way in so long that it didn't start to get grown over and all that. So it's like you go through there and then rip it down and all that and find out, oh, this shit come out to a little pond or some shit that niggas ain't been to in a while. And the more and more you start going down back that motherfucker, you didn't reopen up the trail, so to speak. You know, I did that. I done that a couple times back where I stayed at over by my mama old crib. So is when I be thinking about these motherfuckers in these tunnels, like, oh, they done dug out a tunnel. I'm like, is them niggas digging out tunnels or is they going down there and finding some shit like that shit that was dug out down there? That don't look like they dug out no tunnel. It look like them niggas knocked out bricks and sink. You know what I'm saying? Where it was like it's a hole behind here, or it's some type of draft behind here. Let me knock this wall out and see what's back there. That ain't digging out no tunnel. Yeah, they found Saddam in a hole, J. Kemp. They did. All the way, man, listen. Bugs Bunny, you ain't lying. And all that shit over there in Afghanistan, Saudi Arabia, they say that shit ain't nothing but tunnels that go into caves and all of that shit. Don't get QB finna come up here. You start talking about Tartary. So Hamlin, tell me, what was the Teenage Mutant Culture Turtles doing in the tunnel? I got to know your take. Uncle Luke, what up, dog? The Culture Turtles, was they down there praying in Yiddish?
Let's see. Donatello, Michelangelo,
that was Abraham, Mikael or something like that. Caleb.
Michelangelo, yeah.
Yeah, that was Caleb, and that was Joshua. Yeah, that's who was down there.
You know, it's so funny because yeah, you're right. Just thinking about them when we were kids, you know, you just thought it was weird. You know, 4 turtles and a mouse, or a rat rather, was just weird in itself. But I guess now, when you think about it, were they telling us something that, again, when you're 8, you're not going to sit there and be deciphering to that degree. But when you think back now, I'm just sitting here like, and I really used to like to eat pizza. And remember with the pizza and the thing in DC, you know, a couple of years ago. So even though as of this conversation, it turned out to be nothing, but just still the attachment to pizza and that situation got me thinking like, did I like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles a little too much as a kid? So
Heroes in a Half Shell.
Exactly. I mean,
but now look, I'm trying to say something. Now look, them niggas was just living in the turtle, living in the sewer. And the thing about, like you say, what was they telling us back then? Because the turtles can go anywhere.
Anywhere.
The turtles be like, it's some shit in Harlem. Them niggas run through 3 tunnels.
Exactly.
come out in the alley somewhere.
And then, of course, even with the human friends, again, it just, what was the attachment that we just weren't even thinking about?
Casey Jones and all them. The Rat Dad, yeah, Micro, that nigga was down there with a nigga named the Rat King.
And then remember, I think their nemesis was Shredder, right?
Yeah, because he was trying to kill them niggas.
But that's what I'm saying. What an interesting name.
The Shredder.
Getting rid of evidence.
Yeah, get rid of the evidence.
Exactly.
What the fuck?
Sit and throw, nigga. Fuck them hoes. It's real rap. You mad cause I never fabricate the streets. For OGs and put your life on Angelo and Chief Malik. Easter Pink, pussy use a goofy and it sink or swim. Stop the acid out of alkaline and some dusty Timbs. Crazy 730 King Leo ain't no caps head. All my OG stand up niggas, not ex crackheads. Man, these goofies wanted alive, still bring them back dead. Then put your heart in his house tonight, nigga. I'm Big Red, Big Dog, Johnny Finball. Fuck a brick wall.